13 minutes yet to go. As the cars will be heading out now on track. The 21 cars. And it's a special day as it's the launch of the TCR Brazil series also. With a very big highlights in the life of TCR championships, as we are right now having the debut of a new national series among the many and varied ones we have around the globe. And it's a pleasure to bring it to all around the world. My name is Francisco Aure, as we are going ready now with the qualifying session with the invited drivers right now on track. With names like Jorge Barrio, who starred in the last round in Termas de Rio Hondo, which was also a special race, special event, an endurance event. Here comes Ignacio Montenegro. Now handing the card to Lucas Colombo Russell, who also made a very good job in the last race. And here we have this part-time driver and part-time driver coach, Lucas Colombo Russell from Argentina, 30 years old. And here is car number 34 from Squadra Martino, driven by Franco Cosia, the co-driver, invited driver of Fabio Casagrande, as Colombo Russell moves into the top. Now Marcio Regadas driving the Peugeot 308 of PMO Racing. Here is Luciano Farroni, the driver, invited by Juan Angel Rosso, just like in the previous round, on car number 2 of Paladini Racing. Most of the invited drivers from the last round remain. And we have 21 names in this special round. Here's Gaston Ianza, another one who had a very respectable performance in the last round in Termas de Rio Hondo. The number 17 Toyota. As Marcos Regadas leads the pack right now. It's now Felipe Da Pena moving on to the top, the co-driver of Gali Dosman, the invited driver by the Brazilian stock car experts. We're going through the Q1. In the meantime, here is the Honda of Squadra Martino, driven by Gaetano Di Mauro, who is taking the wheel of Juan Manuel Caselas, Honda. Here is Di Mauro on the first flying lap after moving up to 5th. La Pena and Barrio, the two Cupras in front. Colombo Russell is in 3rd. Jansa is in 4th. Di Mauro, the man on screen, is in 5th place, as he cannot improve so far in the second last sector of the track. Marcos Regadas is also in 6th place, followed by Marcelo Ciarrocchi, who's driving one of the Toyotas, the Toyota number 33 of Jose Manuel Zapag, as Di Mauro heads home into the pit lane. We have new faces in the teams, as Claudio Rama joins PMO Motorsport alongside his son Leandro, regional stock car drivers in Argentina, now having an international experience after a very respectable TCR Trophy entry in 2021 in one of the first endurance events in Buenos Aires. Here's in the meantime Jorge Barrio trying to improve the lap time, as we see Felipe Lapena in a very comfortable lead so far in this Cupra. Car number 77 coming out into the pit straight, and Jorge Barrio is now heading home, also into the garage, with 5 minutes yet in the clock and most times already set. This is Gonzalo Alteri, who drove previously in the season as a regular driver for Alfa Racing. Now is the co-driver of Brazil's Marcio Basso. There is, in another flying lap, the car number 37 that belongs to Guillermo Reichel, now with Guillermo Salas jumping into the top standings. Salas, a very experienced driver, also. He's running the last 4 minutes. Now another lap time set by Thiago Vivacqua, who jumps into 8th place, driving the car number 70 that belongs to Diego Nunes, one of the two Toyotas of Cobra Racing. Here's Facundo Marquez, the Argentinian young driver, driving car number 7 from Juan Pablo Besone. This is PMO Racing, the Argentinian team, alongside its brother team, PMO Motorsports. Here is the sole Hyundai entered in this season, driven now by Matias de Valle. The regular driver is Brazil's Pedro Cardoso, as we see Salas in the lead, La Pena, Barrio, Colombo, Russell, Llanza, Di Mauro, Regadas, Marquez, Monteiro, Vivacqua, the top 10. Then this one on screen, Marcos de Valle, Matias de Valle, sorry. Marcelo Ciarrocci, Luciano Farroni, Mattia Signorelli, Leandro Rama, Rodrigo Aramendia, Gustavo Fernigrini, Franco Cosia, Gonzalo Alterio, Bruno Bautista, and Marcos Filio. Here is the car driven by Frederic Balbi, the Uruguayan driver of the Lincoln Co. We have 1 minute and a half yet in the clock. This car is about to set the last jump in from last place. Is Nelson Marcondes, who remains in 21st and last place. This is Cardoso's car, Pedro Cardoso's car. Now with Matias de Valle, trying to stay in the top 12 that moved to Q2. As it would actually be in any other TCR event, but in the endurance drivers, in the endurance events, both drivers merge their respective best laps. And it's now the opportunity to see which is the strongest pair. We're entering the last 30 seconds of Q1. Number 60. Will he head into the pits? It's Gaetano Di Mauro, Brazilian driver. No, he will stay for one more lap. No more time, ladies and gentlemen. It's over in this qualifying session. Guilherme Salas, the fastest driver, or the fastest of the invited drivers. See if there are any other changes, as we have now the drivers closing the last lap. Marcondes. And here are the Hondas and one of the Toyotas of Palladini Racing. This is car number 21, car number 24. Sorry, 21 driven by Alterio. This is Juan Angel Rosso's car, now in hands of Luciano Farroni. That's the car driven by Rodrigo Aramendia, belongs to Enrique Maglione. So we now see Bernardo Javer. Car driven by Bernardo Javer, now with Gaston Llanza on board. And it's a wrap for Q1. Now it will be time for the regular drivers who usually compete throughout all the season to be given back their cars. Salas, Colombo, Russell, Di Mauro, La Pena, Llanza, Barrio, Regadas, Marquez, Baptista, and Ciarrocci are the top 10. Those are the regular drivers: Raichel, Montenegro, Casella, Osman, Javer, Reis, Sales, Besone, Baptista, and Sapaga. This is now the Toyota with a bit of a slide. Here's Gaetano Di Mauro. And we are now about to see the standings. Guilherme Salas and Guilherme Heischel, the fastest pair so far, at least Salas. Lucas Colombo Russell in second for Squadra Martino, followed by Di Mauro, La Pena, Ianza, Barrio, Regadas, Marquez, Baptista, and Ciarrocci, then Farroni, Vivacqua, Monteiro de Valle, Aramendia, Signorelli, Leandro Rama, Fernigrini, Marcondes, Franco Cosia, and Gonzalo Alterio in last. Now, conversation between Rosso and Farroni as they will jump back to the car, the regular drivers. That means Reichel will take over from Salas, Montenegro will take over from Colombo Russell. Castella will take over from Di Mauro, Osman will take over from La Pena, Javer from Ianza, Reis from Barrio, Sales, Moreira Sales from Regadas, Adalberto Baptista from Rodrigo Baptista, from Bruno Baptista, sorry, and Sepak from Marcelo Ciarrocchi. Then Rosso from Farroni. Here's the car driven by Beto Baptista, Bruno Baptista, and now Adalberto Baptista, as he's assisted to fasten his seatbelts by the mechanic.
4 minutos para abertura de box. 4. Vamos para o Qualify 2. Em menos de 4 minutos.
Beautiful sunny afternoon in Interlagos, as we see one of the GT cars from one of the series that joins the weekend in Brazil for the locals. Here is the PMO Racing Peugeot, driven by Guilherme Salas. That was the fastest car in Q1. This is Gustavo Fernigrini, who'll give the car back to Diego Gutierrez. This is the Peugeot. Now Guilherme Heischel ready to take back the wheel. All the cars are waiting for Q2, where the regular drivers will be back, as they are now already in their cars. This is Juan Pablo Besone, who just took over the wheel of his car from Facundo Marquez. was a very solid regular driver in the previous round. Now with Lucas Moreira Sales, as Guilherme Salas seems quite satisfied with his performance. There is the Lincoln Coast from Leandro and Claudio Rama. It's actually Claudio, the regular driver. Both with a really charming story, father and son, sharing the motorsport passion and racing together. There's Rafa Suzuki, one of the strong contenders of the season. Now Frederic Balbi taking over from Nelson Marcondes. This is the Toyota Team Argentina with Manuel Zapag now after Marcelo Ciarrochi's performance. Felipe La Pena giving back the car to Gali Dosman. So we are waiting for the clearance of the track. So we have Q2 underway. And this is Ignacio Montenegro, the championship leader. Now the cars are going out on track for Q2. For 15 minutes. And now time for the cars to come back on track. Now the cars are back on track for this Q2, where the regular drivers will be given the chance of having their lap times set. And as we said, the fastest lap of each will be merged into a single lap time that will give us the standings. Therefore, any guest driver that didn't have a good lap will have the chance now in the regular driver to improve the position. We'll see. Cars are on track, about to open the laps. Good first sectors from Salas and Colombo Russell. Colombo Russell setting the fastest lap time in sector 1. Rachel setting the best time in the first sector. This is Juan Manuel Casela, who's now moving into the top. We'll see now Maglione in second, Montenegro in third. Drivers are seriously improving their lap times. Manuel Casella seriously improving his position, moving the car into the top. There it is. 143.8. Montenegro. Now moving to the top. Oh, trouble for Rama, as the car is driving slowly. Montenegro has now his car in first, as this is the quickest lap time merged into both cars, leading for 0.8 of a second. Going into the first 5 minutes already completed. Montenegro, Osman, Casella, Javer, Reis, Rosso, Gian Antoni, Besone, Sapag, and Cardoso, the top 10 in the merged lap times. Montenegro set the fastest time of these laps, but for example Juan Angel Rosso has seriously improved the lap time of his regular driver Farroni, and that made them jump into third place. There's Gali Dosman in second. Here is Osman closing his lap time. Montenegro taking first place so far with his lap time. This is Rafael Reis now in his lap time, trying to get his car as high as possible. Now some cars are in the pits. Montenegro is in the pits, Casella and Javer are also in the pits. Last 7 minutes of the session. 7 minutes and a half as race comes back to the pits. Here is Rachel. Now putting his car in 9th place. And that would move them to 3rd place. The pair of Rachel and Salas. A very solid performance by the car number 37. And we still have problems for the Rama family. Seems to be over. And we could have a red flag for this. See if the car is removed or this demands a red flag. As we are going for the last 6 minutes of the session. Claudio and Leandro Rama in 20th place right now. Casa Grande in the bottom. You can see marked with a B the cars that compete in the TCR Brazil season. Large part of the grid is taking part in TCR Brazil also. There's Juan Angel Rosso now currently sitting in 4th on the screen, as the merged lap times will have them in 7th as it stands. The last 5 minutes yet to be completed. This is Juan Angel Rosso, the 30-year-old former Formula 4 driver in England by 2012 and 2013, getting some podiums in the sunny afternoon in Sao Paulo in Brazil. We're enjoying Q2 of TCR South American Championship and the first round of TCR Brazil. My name is Francisco Aure. It's a great pleasure to be with you. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. Rosso in his lap time effort. Didn't really improve anymore yet. Now 142.9 for him. The Toyota of Bernardo Javer, who is sitting allegedly on 7th, and with the lap time merge from Gaston Jansa, he would be in 6th position. as this is the last minutes of this Q2. Montenegro, Osman and Rosso here. Last 2 minutes of the qualifying. Car number 24, Federic Valvi on screen right now. This is the car placing 14th overall. Valvi in 9th. But Marcondes' lap time was not good at all. He was in fact one of the slowest cars in Q1. That will severely drop him back. Not that much the case of Marcio Basso, following the lap by Gonzalo Alterio. Last minutes of the race, of the qualifying run, I mean. Now the car driven by Lucas Moreira Sales in 16th, as we have Montenegro and Colombo Russell on pole, Osman and La Pena in second. Casella and Di Mauro would be jumping to third with the merged lap times. On the lap times merged from both drivers, Montenegro and Russell would be the only pair behind or below 3 minutes and 25. As all the rest are way back. Only Osman and La Pena on 3:25.1, 3:25.4 for Casella and Di Mauro. As we are on the last. Oh, this is a big lockup from Moreira Sales. Montenegro, Osman, and are separated by just 0.02 of a second in their lap times right now. Juan Angel Rosso has been placed at the third fastest. Oh, Javert almost loses it. Entering the last turn and now heading to the Arquibancada zone. It's the checker flag. Qualifying session is over. Ignacio Montenegro and Lucas Colombo Russell will take pole position for tomorrow's endurance events. Khalid Osman and Felipe La Pena will start in second. Juan Manuel Casella and Gaetano Di Mauro will take third place. No more time as the cars are completing their laps right now. Rachel and Salas are in the last attempt. We'll see what happens with Rachel. Lucas Moreira Sales also closing his lap. Manuel Zapag, Enrique Maglione and Fabio Casagrande still trying to get their lap times done. They all head into the pits. Qualifying is over. We will head now to the final standings in a few seconds. as we see Montenegro here are the pole sitters. Colombo Russell in the black suits, Montenegro in the blue one. Loads of happiness for these two.